Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
Welcome to another edition of Inside the Firm. I'm here with Lance, luxury division of Pella Cayko.
I'm jealous of this.
Okay.
I love this. Look at me. Look at this. All the fans out there.
Dude.
Black on black on black.
Okay. Hey, Lance, looks so good. Everyone, that's awesome. Theft or not, he got a package from Pella. There was a gray one and a black one.
Theft.
I got back to the office. I was probably doing real work. You were probably fishing.
Probably.
You were probably fishing. And I have a gray one on my desk.
Looks nice. Matches his eye color.
My eyes are blue. How does it?
Complimentary.
So
They're grayish blue.
Theft.
No, you can't.
Theft.
Don't talk about my gray hair.
Hey, exactly. Gray hair. Oh, my God. So, I just want people to know.
Early bird gets worm. / luxury pillow.
/ who happened to be in the firm. I would have done the same thing. I would have put that gray one right on your desk.
Looks really nice. Thanks,
Yeah.
Alicia.
Speaking of that,
All right.
Kyle Rogler, Blue Dot Design Build, does awesome stuff. Except he likes, what's that terrible restaurant? Runza.
He likes it.
Yeah.
We only gave Runza, to be fair to Runza, it's a Midwest chain. We only gave it one shot.
Timeout. That's also true. It is, there's burger joints, chicken joints. Why isn't there sloppy Joe joints? Like, come on.
Is that okay? That's basically what it's cafeteria food.
That's why.
Second grade cafeteria food. Al was 100% right.
Gotcha. It's because it's cafeteria food.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna open a restaurant that's pizza barges from second grade. Remember pizza barges?
Square pizza.
No, but they had the rounded edge. They had the
Oh
rounded
yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyways, awesome guy. He said, I had an intern this summer go through the Revit Rocketship program, and they thought it was the most comprehensive video series in getting someone ready to start in Revit.
Fantastic.
Love the tools, templates, and videos. So thank you. So go check that out, RevitRocketship.com. And that was all I was going to promote. But one of our home builders, a regular person is building his own home, and he bought the Architects to Builders guide.
Yep.
It's at architectsguide2.com. And he goes, I do courses all the time. He's even made courses.
He's made them.
He's made them, but
Taken
then taking them, he's like, if I want to learn something, I'll just buy a course and just learn it. He goes, what I liked about your guys is it wasn't boring. A lot of them are boring because it's just one person, and there's back and forth. So if you're interested,
Just put them.
and he didn't even have this black Pella coat. So I mean, we're just leveling up. So go check out those two things.
All right. Yeah. You know what else you should check out? You should check out BIM over at ArcCat. BIM content should be free, and you shouldn't have to give up your personal data in exchange for it. That's what ArcCat believes. ArcCat offers data-rich objects, families, and systems for free and without registration. To sweeten the deal, you can download these files in the last 4 editions of Revit. That's right, in SketchUp format or DWG. Go to arccat.com today and enjoy the freedom. That's ARCAT.com to start building better content today. The other place I want everybody to go to is I want them to go to PellaLuxury.com. Pella Luxury right here, .com /the firm. Check out all the Pella products over there, because you've never experienced a brand like this before. The collection of brands within the luxury division of Pella are the conversation starters, Al Gore, the pioneers of the industry who provide window and door solutions to discerning architects like Al Gore, the building industry like Al Gore, and beyond. And to his family, probably his family. Your family should check him out. Seth Gore, are you listening to this? Check it out.
Check it out. Check it out.
They have decades of experience creating things no one else in the world is creating, and the collection of brands are brought together to complement and build on one another. By the way, I'm going to message this episode to Seth Gore now on the Facebook.
Yep.
I can message. I can't do anything else. They don't push beyond the limits. They set them. Explore PellaLuxury.com/the firm today. Please check them out. They are a huge part of Inside the Firm. They help bring us to you every week. Please go check them out. PellaLuxury.com/the firm. Al Gore.
Got it. So, this is probably going to be a shorter podcast. I'm going on vacation.
We
with
say
my
that
wife.
every time, and then it's a long one. So,
Okay, so maybe it will, but probably going to be shorter. Going on vacation, got some cool things to lead with, but a public service announcement.
ooh, PSA.
Do you know who Amanda Knox is?
Yes.
Okay. What's your thoughts? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad you said yes, because it's for sure 100% no. It is for sure 100% no. Media narrative, cops. So Amanda Knox was accused of murdering her roommate back probably 15 years ago.
I just said yes because what you do is this is improv, basically.
Yes.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
and.
Yeah, yes.
I don't even know who Amanda Knox is, to be fair to me.
Okay.
That's how much I just said yes.
Good. She was accused of murdering her roommates. None of the facts matched it. None of the DNA matched it.
Oh, and in 2015, she was definitively acquitted.
Yep.
Got
Yep.
it.
She got tried and convinced twice.
In
got
Italy.
Yeah. So you want to know how?
You know what they feed you over there in Italy in the just
What?
pasta?
Pasta. She goes over like what she had in jail. She was in jail for 8 years. Did not do it.
Gosh.
Did not do it. So much to the fact
Geez,
that
she's young too, 34. Wow.
yeah, that there was DNA evidence of the person that did it. He was arrested for multiple things. He was seen with like she came back and like a window was broken in, the door was locked. She like called the cops, didn't even know what was happening. They interrogated her for 5 days. Basically said, remember. Oh, you're just not remembering what happened. Like this is so
man,
traumatic, right?
yeah.
Then signed something or said something like, yeah, I must have done it. And then and she's just learning Italian. And then she goes, oh, what did I do? And then she writes like, no, I did not do it. Like at all. Like you should know I did not do it. They just like, nope, threw that away. Made up this whole, because none of the facts fit like her actually doing it.
Right.
They made up this whole narrative of why she did it, why she's a terrible person. And then her lawyer said like, this is going to contradict what we said a couple weeks ago, said, don't play it into the media. Anything you say will just be spun. So like, she just kept silent. Like, we know you're guilty. You're not even refuting all these made up things about you, made up of who you are, how you think, all this other stuff. She was her boyfriend, who they also tried, even though they found out somehow that he was on his computer during the time of the murder. And he's like, yeah, she was with me at my house during this time, right? Did a whole bunch of bad stuff.
But they probably showed, yes. They probably looked at somehow in the computers to figure it out. Yeah. I see.
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay.
And I think he was literally on the internet at that time. So, you know, the CIA is always watching. Okay. So they just kind of knew. Got convicted. Clearly didn't do it. And then like a lot of people still think, you know, because of, the media narrative just took over. Like,
exactly. The media narrative can take over in about 30 seconds now.
Yep. But if you ever see her, if you ever want to, I don't know, run it. She did not do it. Do not think, because she thought after this was done that she could just like, hey, great, I can be just a normal person and go back to college. People would take pictures like, hey, with a murder and an accident.
Oh my God. How do you know about this? Why do you know about it? Tell me what the heck what you're doing here, buddy boy.
I try to listen to books on tape.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's 5:30 in the morning and I'm driving to work. I'm like, there's no way my brain is even on right now. So I'm like, I
don't understand how early you get up. It's pretty. I mean, I get up that early too, but like I'm going to the home office. I go to my home office.
I've been sleeping in a little bit lately.
You go here.
I've been sleeping in.
Al's the real MVP. It's,
so,
you know, like if let's say a package came
and you're gonna
and like let's say you got to pick between a black polo and a gray one. I'd say he deserves the black one, but
it's not how it worked out, is it? It's not how it worked out. So anyways, like I was looking through Joe Rogan and I was like, I don't care about like, I remember this coming up back in the day. And I remember thinking like, I don't care. Like, why are they making up why is this a big deal?
Yeah.
Like she either did it or she didn't and the law will figure out like this whole media narrative, like in my head is just distracting and it literally ruined her life. Right.
Of course.
She has a great attitude about it now, stuff like that.
Apparently, she's got a website apparently. And do you know she has a show with Vox? So I'm sure she's money-wise, she's making up for it.
Well,
I'm not saying money is everything, but
her job's a podcast now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, she could, I think she lives with her mom though still. So it's like,
no, she's married.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I know. Now I know more than Al.
Yeah.
About Amanda Knox.
And then I was like, Joe, Amanda Knox, I was like, I really just don't care whatsoever. Like I didn't even have, like, I was like, yeah, I don't even know what I thought before. But when they were talking and laying out the stuff, I was like, holy cow, this is crazy.
Egregious,
they,
yeah.
They had no evidence whatsoever. They had, there was semen in the room under the pillow where this lady got murdered. And the prosecutors said, oh, we don't need to test that. And Joe's like, why would you not test that? And she's like, well, because it didn't point to me because I can't produce semen.
Oh, yeah.
But that was their argument is like, it's irrelevant. Like
Wow.
that is irrelevant. And be like, I don't know. It seems like you have a lot of DNA of one person that's not her.
Yeah.
Possible semen that's not her. None of her DNA in there. This would all add up. So it's crazy. I'm telling you, if you want to listen to that one, it was actually like, I'm only halfway through. Surprisingly,
A book
really,
or
really
the
good. Joe Rogan.
Oh, this is
Joe Rogan and Amanda Knox.
this is new.
Yep, a couple days ago,
That's why
something
you
like
know
that.
about it.
Exactly. But it leads to like, and she even like, they talk about like, it's not so simple as like these prosecutors are trying to be evil.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It's just, hey, this is our idea. We don't want to be wrong. How do we get, like
Number 1709, Joe Rogan.
Yep. What's so crazy too is like, we complain about the planning department.
I've once.
and it's like, man, they do some things that are, and I don't want to get into it, but like clearly wrong, but they were following
The rules.
right? So this person did stuff that was clearly wrong, but like, hey, they were within the rules. And Joe's like, what happened to them? Like, well, after I was quit and all that, like, they got promoted.
Oh, you mean the prosecutor or the police
And the
or
cops.
whatever.
And
Yeah.
So. And it's not just an Italian thing. I'm not just saying Italian. I mean, it's clearly in America too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yep. Okay. Next topic.
Yeah.
What leads... Large-scale collapses seem to be a surprise to people.
When something, like the financial crisis.
Yep. Okay. Relationships.
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. A divorce,
Sure.
right? Like, oh, just hit me. Sometimes with divorce, a cheating thing can just pop up and, whatever.
Well, I think Jordan Peterson, I can't remember what chapter in his book, 12 Rules for Life, but he talks about that when he talks about like how your world can just be flipped upside down like that. Like you find out you have a cheating spouse. Like imagine you feel like maybe the rug is just pulled from underneath you, right? And you flip. Like you're just flipped.
You walk home, the door's locked, and there's a broken window, and you call the cops, and all of a sudden you're in jail for 8 years.
There you go.
So there are those cases, right? But what I'm getting at is the one I want to talk about right now is government debt. And the reason why some people might not know is back maybe around 5 years ago. Do you remember like Greece and Italy were having these problems?
Oh, yeah. Greece defaulted, yeah.
Yep. And they said, hey, they were working through it. I was watching it from the periphery, but this isn't America because their debt to their GDP exceeds 100%, right? So if you make $100,000 a year, you have more than $100,000 in debt. And like, you should literally think about this as credit card debt, not mortgage debt or anything like that. And they're like, that's kind of why they're in trouble. And like they need to be taxed a lot. And who knows, what happened there. Apparently there was protests because, they're doing all this stuff. Well, back around that time, I believe our debt was between 15 and 18 trillion dollars.
Yeah.
And our GDP is between 18 and 20 trillion dollars. Our debt currently is
28 trillion.
28 trillion dollars.
That doesn't count the, I think, unsecured debt, or you know what I'm talking about? Like there's a bigger amount of debt that we have.
It doesn't count.
It's unsecured liabilities. That's what it is.
Yep, liabilities, like things that they owe in the future, Social Security, Medicare. But that doesn't count, Lance, like, a building that they have a mortgage on.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, So like that doesn't count your mortgage. That counts, like, this is all
unfunded liabilities.
Unfunded.
That's what it is. I'm sorry. Yep. Yeah. So because like there's an article that came out. Let's see here, April 25th, 2021. If you don't know this, you should know this. So it's the title of this article is "The Truth in Accounting: U.S. National Debt Closer to 123 Trillion."
Yep.
That was again, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, April, right? And it's probably even crazier now.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But also China is having an issue with one of its biggest real estate development.
Thank you for saying that. Evergrande. So if you don't know what Evergrande is, you should look it up. You should look all this stuff up, because I think one of the things we try to do is help people hopefully have a little bit of foresight, right? We talked about, Al knows, I talked about for many years, 2020, I bet there's going to be a big financial meltdown. And there wasn't not a financial meltdown, but like another crash, another kind of recession. Sure enough, we did it. We 100%. The coronavirus came through, all that happened. So what you should look up next is called Evergrande. Evergrande is it's an enormous company embedded across China's financial system and economy, which relies heavily on property for growth and jobs. In theory, a collapse could chase investors away from other publicly traded developers, setting off a chain of defaults. So last week, you probably saw if you're looking on Robinhood and you have stocks, your stocks went down because we're all in this global economy now. And so a lot of people have been saying for a long time, Chinese have a property bubble building because they actually print more money than us.
A lot more money, which people don't know.
And while we do speculative real estate in the United States, we do it so little compared to these guys who actually make ghost cities, right? You've heard of the ghost cities. So there you go. Back to you, Al Gore.
Well, what I'm getting at is that I don't know. I remember being worried when it was at $18 trillion, being like, this is way too much. So 28, like literally, I thought it would be maybe at 19 or 20 or 21, and then you said 28, and then I looked at the U.S. debt clock, and it's at 28, right? I go,
kind of snuck up on you, eh?
Snuck up real quick.
Honestly, though, I mean, think about it. How long have we been saying 20 trillion over and over again in our brains?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it's like 28. What?
Yep. But, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like this is what happens, is because all of a sudden, let's just say in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever, they go, oh, the debt's a huge issue. We actually have to solve it, right? And everyone's like, what? What are you talking about? And then someone will lay out, president, banker, whatever, like, oh, this happened and this happened and we had this and this and this. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, yeah, all that did happen. And we were just sweeping it. We were just not thinking
under
about
the rug,
it.
Kicking the can down the road.
Right? So like even like, let's just take a relationship. Cheating or not, but like bad communication, no talking, not hanging out, blaming the other.
Literally not addressing the problem. I mean, that's, yeah, especially with the like relationship. That's such a great point. Yeah. Like, I don't know how long one of the pieces of advice I've heard people talk about with marriage is that like you should never go to bed angry. I think that's hard to do. There's going to be times,
yep.
But
and I don't necessarily. And my wife and I have talked about that. Sometimes we do because we know what we are about to say is in a hyped up emotional state.
Oh yeah, exactly. And you're
so
like, I just need some space.
Yep.
So sleep on this couch.
We will go to bed, quote unquote angry. Wake up and be like, oh yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. I just really wish that you would listen when I say buy these groceries and I tell you multiple times that I like this and not this, and you always get whatever the hell you want. That's more on me than
chips is what he buys.
Yes. That's why I got the gray shirt. But so So, like a divorce can be sudden, but a lot of times, even if you look back, even on those, let's just say cheating things, like was things building up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying that in this podcast because we don't want it to be a surprise to people. And because who knows, let's say it does happen and there's these austerity programs, I think they were calling it. Okay. Are you prepared for that? Are you living above your means? Do you have something that you can fall back to? But here's the other thing too, is like, let's say they just decide to print more money too.
Oh, they're gonna.
Which they could. Lance said they're gonna. Hey, that's great. That's gonna mask the problem. But it comes at a cost, and that cost is inflation. So just again, letting you know, it's kind of a catch-22 because inflation helps when you have assets purchased pre-inflation. But if you don't know what they're going to do, if you purchase an asset now and they decide to pop that bubble, they decide 28 was the number or 30 trillion was the number where they decide to pop it and you bought like at that high, not good. If they're going to just print money and you bought now, hey, that's great. Everything pre-printing money. Everything pre-printing money. If the money inflation goes up like 2x, wage increases, all that, like your house just became half as expensive. I feel like that's what they're going to do. I'm not going to give advice either way because I'm not in their brains. Probably wouldn't have done some of the things that they do. But just wanted to bring that up.
All right, you did. Who is Bill Peterson?
Do you know KPF?
No.
The firm? Look them up.
Okay, KPF.
Cone Pedersen Fox.
Oh, I know who that is. You can't say it like that. Good grief.
What? Isn't that what people say? Like
I
SOM? You say Skidmo or Owens Merrill all the time?
Absolutely. In the most perfect English.
Black shirt.
Okay, KPF. Yeah, I used to. Didn't you apply to these guys when you went to New York?
No, Fox and Fowl.
Fox and Fowl. Dang it, that's the one I'm thinking of. Okay.
You know what? Maybe I even applied to these guys, but they didn't give me an interview. So maybe I did.
Yeah.
Which I should have.
I am almost positive you did. I swear.
Okay, so I had him, one of the founding members, on Monday morning.
Fantastic.
Yep, it should. I don't even know how far out we are. It'll be out in.
We'll have to see if Al actually. I'm looking it up right now. If he actually filled out what he's supposed to do.
I did not.
He did not. He did not. Yep. Monday morning coffee episodes. So
Did not.
looking ahead, you're probably looking at soon. No, sorry. End of October. His episode will come out. We're booked out like 4 to 6 weeks every time now. Keep going.
Okay. So, I asked him about the firm. We talked a lot about skyscrapers. Does a lot of skyscrapers. He talked about like building well, having like how to interact with clients and all that stuff. And then at the end, like literally, this was the end. Is like what is necessary for a good firm, and what he said, I think, is key for business. He goes, you have to have a catalyst. You have to have a catalyst in the firm. And he named, it was one of the other guys. He like always pushing forward, always looking towards the future, always unsatisfied with the current state, right? And I go, oh, okay, that makes sense. You have to have a catalyst, like, hey, we need more work. We need to get stuff done. We need to improve the process, all that. And what it made me think, though, is like people trying to grow your business. First, when people come, it depends. I'm not saying we're at the worst at this. I'm going to way oversimplify. Someone comes, no matter who they are, train them in the system. Do this. Do it this way. Like this is how you be efficient. Mm-hmm. You might be taking away some of the catalyst. The longer that they go, because it's very hard to have someone, here's the other extreme, come in, change, be demanding, you say how things should run, mm-hmm. It normally doesn't work out. It's why some people leave firms. Mark LePage. Yeah. He had some ideas. So it's like there's a balance. There's a balance because if you have a bunch of people and if you're trying to make a firm that works in your system, that's fine. But now, if you want to leave, you want to retire, there's all these, whenever these big businesses are changing over, or even medium-sized business, who's going to lead the firm? It's always this huge question. I always used to question, why is that such an issue? Like, how is that such an issue? You're telling me you don't have talented leaders, people? And I think it's because they don't cultivate a catalyst. They don't cultivate a catalyst. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Cultivate a catalyst for the individual employee.
For whoever is going to take over.
So that they're... Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah.
They do not cultivate a catalyst. So I just want people in their firm, you're either working for someone else or you're working for yourself, growing a firm. Do you need to be that catalyst? There doesn't need to be that many catalysts.
Yeah, what is your catalyst? Think about the catalyst.
Yeah, think about the catalyst.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe your catalyst is to get a really nice black. It's got a logo on it.
Wow. Coming back to this.
Working hard.
Some people are like, I'm going to go get that black luxury pullover.
Yep, you got it. Do we actually have a Nick Reads? I can't remember if he actually sent anything to us this week.
Well, look, I thought he sent 2 last time.
Did he? Let me take a look. What is the episode we're on today? We are on 227. I don't see anything in there. I see nothing. Ragged Old Flag. That was last week.
All right.
No Nick from Nick Reads this week. No big deal. What do we have next, Al?
Let's bring down the team for A.R.E. Jeopardy.
Here we go.
All right. Here we go. Question number 1. Exhaust vents, not fireplace vents, shall terminate 2 feet higher than any roof structure within how many feet? Is it A, 10 feet, B, 8 foot, C, 6 foot, D, 12 foot?
Yeah. Okay, I thought you wrote it backwards. You got it right. Just had to read that a few times.
Ready?
This is an easy one.
A is 10 foot, C is 6 foot. Correct answer is in between. It's B, it's 8 foot. So I say that because it's different. I would have thought maybe it's similar to fireplace fence, but it's not. Okay, number 2. An exterior direct wall vent. So think your dryer vent, think your heater vent. Must be how far away from a window or a door? Is it A, 12 inches? This is IRC. IBC might be different. B, 6 inches. C, 24 inches. D, 36 inches. D, C, D, A. A is 12 inches. That is correct. 36 inches isn't, but it might be. There was something big in IBC. 36 inches is IBC. So just know that. That was on one of our projects that had a lot of windows. That was a huge deal.
Yeah. Number 3, if the water table is located less than how many feet below the surface, this is considered high and will limit foundation design. A, 4 feet. B, 6 feet. D, 8 feet. Or C, 8 feet. D, 10 feet. So if the water table is located less than how many feet below the surface, this is considered high and will limit foundation design. Is it A, 4 feet, B, 6 feet, C, 8 feet, D, 10 feet? Basically, at what point, right? We got A, B, B. Correct answer is B, 6 feet.
Okay. We had a small crew, so that's why I went a little bit quicker. Wait, you have another one. Sorry.
One more. Which of the following items are included in the construction budget? A, financing and interest incurred. B, cost of land. C, services provided by the design professionals. D, tap fees. Which of the following items are included in the construction budget? A, financing and interest incurred. B, cost of the land. C, services provided by the design professionals. Or D, tap fees. What do we got? Look at this guy circling hard. C, A. I heard that little squeak. Correct answer is D. Tap fees are the only thing that are included in the construction budget. Everything else, not.
Yeah. Okay.
Tricky.
What do we have? Two. Winner.
Congratulations.
Where are we going to eat? I don't know. Probably Runza.
There you go. Probably Runza. Cafeteria food. If you like this episode, please share with a friend, colleague, family member, your mom, whatever it takes. If you are listening on the iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, leave us a 5-star review. Subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button and make sure you subscribe. Leave us a comment. See you next week.